Hey guys, this is Bridget and I'm here in Maui, new home. This is where I landed, and today I want to talk to you about discernment and consciously choosing which reality you want based on the content and the spiritual teachings that you ingest. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So this has been a big thing as I've kind of been in this world and watched the different currents of you guys and me and everyone taking in different bits of information and from different people over time and what that is doing to us. And one of the things that I've been really seeing is this slight loss of empowerment. The idea is we always want to be super in our power and realizing that we right now are perfect. We are infinite consciousness right now. And all that certain content online or people talking about certain things is really just to remind us, give us transmissions, give us mental, conceptual ways of understanding to realize that we already are that. So when I see certain people kind of giving their power away to spiritual teachers or giving their power away to certain schools of thought, whether that's kind of conspiracy stuff or things going on, I just want myself and everyone to realize that that is choosing a timeline. And most of us understand that. Most of us realize that. But where I see it going a little bit off course is when you go into a certain school of thought or a certain teaching or listening to a certain person, and when you start, it's good. Like you tune in and you're like, yes, like this feels good, this feels whole, this information or this frequency, this transmission I'm getting. But then it changes. And so I want to ask and invite you guys to be consciously aware every time you click on a YouTube video, including mine, or watch any sort of content or go to any certain seminar or workshop with a certain person. You check in every time and you go, is this my energy? Is this still resonating? Because one of the things that happens is we build momentum where we're going in this certain direction and we like this certain person or we like this certain content, and then it changes. And I think that's the thing that I'm seeing is that people, myself included, we're not always perfect. We go through these places where we might be more negatively oriented or a little bit off course. And that isn't the time to be listening to that person. And so really checking into energy and utilizing this idea as you're discerning, as you're taking in information, that that is the timeline you're experiencing if you're ingesting that information. And also using the different levels of discernment to play with. So it may mean that you like a certain person or certain content for its transmission. You're like, the transmission is coming from a higher place. I'm going to take in that transmission. But then on another hand, it might be the content is really good, but the energy behind it isn't. And so seeing, maybe I want that content, that intellectual understanding, but then not taking it too far to where you lose the frequency. Or you're just taking in the higher light energetics, but the around what's around that content or around that person might not be holistic. There's missing pieces. So I think this kind of guru-dom, this isn't the age for guru-dom, because everyone is your spiritual teacher. Everything is your spiritual teacher. It is a mirror showing you what you're choosing, what you're not choosing, and ultimately it is all us, right? So it's this nature behind me is my teacher. My partner, Patrick, is my teacher. The person I meet on the street that's freaking out, this neighbor over here, was losing his shit. He is my teacher reflecting something. So realizing that someone put on a pedestal or someone with a bigger following doesn't mean that they're the spiritual teacher. Everyone is. And so really giving credit to the reflections in your reality and giving credit to yourself interacting with the ultimate expression of what you're needing to experience is going to be very helpful and empowering, because this whole like hierarchy thing, it's not good. Like, it's not, we're coming into true wholeness and oneness. There are moments where there are people that have more information on certain subjects, or might have more of holistic or higher frequency in certain categories, but that doesn't mean that they're above, because you have just as much power or just as much gift, but it might be in a certain area. So to realize that, and to not just like give up all of the energy to this other person, or to this person producing like content or whatever, is just critically important. Like, I see it all the time, and to realize that we're human, but then to realize that we're very special and important, and the more that we can like take that in, like that self worthiness, then we can really start to exude that, because we are all creators ultimately, or we are all meant to create something great for the world, and we're all students, we're all meant to receive something great from others. And so it's this co-creative balance. And if you're just taking in, then it might be time for you to create. And those who are creating, if you're just teaching on this pedestal, then it might be time to be a student in a new category. And so it's always good to keep that energy in check, and just realize, and it takes a fine-tunement, because when we're online and it's just like this media, or like this thing, and we're in this like fast-paced reality, we might not realize that we're subtly like giving energy to this person, or to this thing, this reality, this whole reality. I'm seeing people going into these certain, they're not conspiracies because they're real, but these certain trajectories of reality, taking it in, wanting to understand the intellectual information, but realizing that it's a whole reality. And it's like, do you choose that reality? And so as we take in the content, is that your history? Is that your future? Is the person providing that in energetic alignment or not? One thing I always really like that Patrick says is that you start here, you're like, yeah, this is good. Like, you're here, this energy or content is here, and you're like, this is good. And then it starts to go like this way. And so all of a sudden you go on this path that's subtle. You wouldn't even know, but over like 6 months, a year, a few years, you become a whole different person. More like negative, more just like irritated at the world, or just kind of like too caught up in your shadow, or whatever this looks like. And eventually you just become this whole other person, but it's slight and it's subtle, and it starts in that way. And so just being really aware of that. There's moments where like I'm friends with people that are producing great things, but I might not be energetically aligned to what they're creating, and I might not even like watch what they're doing, or go attend something that they've got going on. Or vice versa, I might be pulled to someone who isn't seemingly spiritual. And that's why just like breaking down all of these preconceived notions, and going beyond the numbers, going beyond the following, going beyond the pedestal of what that person is providing, and realizing that people with 50 YouTube followers that have just videos that have like 3 views may have something extraordinary, and do have something extraordinary for us to hear. And so really giving credit and credence to everyone that is in resonance with where your attractant is, what feels constructive, what feels creative, what feels like life flowing. So if it's something that it's like after you feel a little drained, you feel a little freaked out about your life, about the future, it's probably not a good thing to ingest. Now, there are those moments where we need to understand the greater interplay of what's going on in the collective, but if it's something that is taking your energy, or as you're watching it, you're giving your energy to it, are you wanting to feed? Are you wanting to sprout that reality or something else? So that's just the general idea of what I wanted to share today, because I'm seeing a lot of people doing it. So just really tune in every moment to the people, the teachers, and see if it's still in energetic alignment, see if it's holistic. If it isn't, that's okay. We're not all perfect. But see what you do want to ingest, see what parts that you might not want to, and just piece it together and realize that you are incredibly powerful, and ultimately that's what it's about. It's about getting to that realization within ourselves so that we can feel really good and whole, so that we can create, so that we can give our gifts, and equally we do that with each other. So I hope that's helpful in this world of navigating different content and spiritual ideas. And I'll be back soon with more videos. As far as an update with me, from that last video that you guys probably saw, my higher self landed me here in Maui, and I'm so excited and really grateful because it just, everything opened up, and I'm just tickled to be here. So I'll have more news, more videos. If you have any video suggestions, because everything's changing for me, like it's just a revamping of everything that I am, honestly, being here and just attuning to these higher frequencies and having her, this island, this magic teach me. So new content's going to be coming from different places than I've ever done before. So comment below and tell me what you would prefer to see me create, and like and subscribe if you love these videos. So I'll see you soon with another video.